On a warm, late summer afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, we've got a fun little clash in the AFC, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the New York Jets. And they will elect to not bring this one out, as our first drive will begin at the 25. And New York set to take the field. Now a late signee let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Finding Hardman here over the middle. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. But Charles, a tough task ahead for this defense, trying to slow down Aaron Rodgers. What would you be trying to do?
I would think about selective pressure, Brandon, and what I mean by that is he's going to eat you up if you blitz him too often, because he'll read that and go to the man coverage patterns. But every now and then you bring that pressure at him, make him deliver the ball on time. It's when he keeps the ball, maneuvers out of the pocket, and throws deep, that's when you're in big trouble.
From the 46, here's second down and 5. Cook up the gut. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. And able to find Allen Lazard. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Dalvin Cook. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Jets get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. A man coming off a great rookie year. It's Dameon Pierce on a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle. In an old school NFL football, the right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Jamie and Sherwood there to make the stop.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? Because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Touchdown, Texans. Dalton Schultz, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Texans are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Rodgers now on first down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He completes it to Wilson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
Seven, our score after one. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. There's a short one caught by Uzama. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On 2nd down, Cook. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Stroud on 3rd down now. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Here's Hardman to return. Now a hit and a loose football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Stroud sets up the play action. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they'll go play action here with Stroud. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. Robert Woods. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Texans have taken the lead. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out now come the Jets. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Big Dwayne Brown, the tackle, guilty there. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Caught by Wilson. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. To throw is Rodgers. And Cook has it, left side. It'll go as a gain of 4. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. On the return, it's King. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Texans will take over. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. C.J. Mosley getting to him behind the line of scrimmage there.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
They run with the former Buffalo Bill, Devin Singletary. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
On first down, here's Stroud. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Stroud. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. Right side complete. That's Woods. And he is going to have a Texans first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
1st and 10, it's Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Here's 2nd and 3. Here goes Stroud again. This will be caught by Brown. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Stroud. This will be caught once again by Brown. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Quick slant here to Woods. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Here's 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Here's Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Pierce will try to pick it up. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Nothing fancy really on either side. They were just trying to punch it between the tackles, but could not get it done.
That felt very old schoolish, didn't it? Because we always talk about how we spread it out on offense nowadays and try and create some running lanes. That one was really tight. Go get it. A big pile of bodies. Didn't quite get there.
Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Jets will take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now it's Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. So the completion good for 6 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Now Rodgers. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. And Stroud now to throw. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, standing just about on his own goal line. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. New York set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
And that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I know that we've seen their share of struggles, and the quarterback's been hit a few times in this game, but this one can't be put on the offensive line. They gave him plenty of time to throw the football. I think ultimately he has to be a lot more decisive in his decision-making and get rid of it and find an open target.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. The Texans back out there and ready to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. The tackle by Quincy Williams.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 5. Singletary here running out of the gun. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. Here's 3rd and 3. Now here's Stroud on 3rd down. That is caught. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Handoff right side to Pierce. And some room to work. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 65 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd and 10. Stroud to throw yet again here. Man open left side is Brown. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Going for it with Pierce. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. Now they'll throw it with Stroud here. 1st and 10. Right side complete to Mechie. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Pierce now up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Stroud on 3rd down now. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. And it's caught. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Two yards to go, 2nd down. Back to the ground with Pierce. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Dameon Pierce taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now out come the Jets. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's King. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the Texans set to come onto the field. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd down, here's Pierce. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And they'll go right back to Pierce. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
They're going option play on third down. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a fourth down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And New York set to take the field. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Mecole Hardman, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Jets have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Throwing now is Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Option right, here's Stroud. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. They go again with Pierce. And the Texans are going to have a first down, and that is the big one, as they should be able to run it out from here. 113 yards rushing now on 23 carries so far.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. To a knee goes Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So this one in the win column for the Texans, and it was their quarterback who led the way, Charles. Pretty impressive play for a rookie.
Yeah, what struck me was how composed he was in the pocket. The numbers weren't spectacular. He had 2 touchdown passes, that's it. But he led his guys on some important drives when they needed it most, and they're going to come away with the victory.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.